Everywhere I go, I pick something up. Not souvenirs, not photos, but pieces, words, feelings, fragments of understanding. It can be from strangers, it can be from a discomfortable feeling, from moments I never saw coming, whether it's a place I loved or one I couldn't wait to leave. I carry something forward. That's how I have learned to turn every experience, good, bad, confusing, into something useful, something that shapes the way I live and move. When I lived in ashram for 2 months, the ashram life taught me 2 things. The first came from the founder of the ashram. Some people there called him a guru. He was not my guru, but I liked listening to him. His stories, his way of seeing the world, the values of how he regarded a yogic life. One day, during a class, I asked him something that had been on my mind. Do you regard yourself as a visionary businessman, or do you consider yourself as a guru? It wasn't just curiosity. It was about identity, how yogic living teaches people to let go of identification. So did he regard himself as a guru or a businessman? Because they both were labels. I wanted to know how he saw himself. He looked at me and said, I'm a student of yoga. Later I heard he had said that modern people often didn't understand him. So I approached him again and told him my question didn't come from a critical place. I am just naturally curious. His answer was, even my children don't understand me. The way I look at life is so different from the modern way. But you live in the modern world, I said. He nodded, yes, but the way I grew up has formed the way I regard life. It's different. Then, one day in a talk, he said, you really have to like challenges to evolve. That one stayed with me, because most of us avoid challenges, but maybe, or for sure, growth only comes when we meet challenges willingly, or even with a smile on our faces. The second thing I took from the ashram came from another teacher. She was the director of the ashram. She once said to us, find the inner teacher within you. That line really stuck. I've always been a bit of a rebel. I don't follow masses. I don't follow anyone. I make my own soup, my own garam masala. So when she said that, it wasn't just inspiring. It affirmed something I've already been living and practicing in my everyday life. She told us not to overthink the Kundalini Kriyas. Don't get stuck in your head, she said. Just listen to your inner teacher. And that sentence brought me back to my first interview for my blog with the Kundalini teacher in Peru. It was in 2018. Ironically enough, I later titled the interview for Listen to Yourself, something I did not do. The Kundalini yoga teacher whom I was going to interview had asked me to meet him in a place full of thorns. I didn't want to go there, but I was desperate to interview him. So, unwillingly, I arrived there with my trousers full of thorns. I should have listened to myself. Still, the message was clear. Sometimes the words I am trying to spread, or other ones are trying to spread, are the exact ones we need to hear. Another lesson, it was from India to Nepal. I got scammed crossing the border. I was exhausted, over 2 days on the road, and I didn't even notice it had happened until I was already in Nepal. Somehow, I convinced the border officer to let me go back. I met the man I had originally dealt with. I don't think he was the one who scammed me directly, but he had sent me to the place where it happened. Here's what's important. I didn't argue. I didn't yell. I was calm, and I said, I trusted you. I came to your office, and I was cheated. That's really disappointing. And he gave me some of the money back, not all of it. But I'm sure if I had asked clearly, he would have given me more, but my brain wasn't working. I was so tired that I didn't even know how much I could be asking for, but still I got some money back. And I truly believe that happened because of how I had met him the first time, and how I spoke to him when I returned, not from anger, but from presence. The lesson? Meet people as humans, even when you're drained, even when you're disappointed, because how we show up matters. And still, I have to be honest, this past year, there were 3 moments where I reacted with real anger. I know the people around me didn't like it, but I've also come to accept that's part of being human. I'm not perfect, and I'm not trying to be. Sometimes when boundaries are crossed, it's necessary to speak up, even if it makes others feel uncomfortable, even if they react to how you say it. There were times I expressed my anger because it felt right to put up a boundary. My boundaries had been overstepped, and I wasn't going to stay quiet, and that too is valid. You're not here to be passive. You're here to be real. It's about balance. When I'm in a deeply emotional state, I try not to speak right away. I've learned that words from the anger place or from a very emotional place rarely brings anything good. Silence has often saved me from regret. But when something needs to be said, I have also learned not to hold it back. What matters is how we speak. That we speak with awareness, not just reaction. And all of this, the ashram, the teacher in Peru, the border guy who scammed me, the anger, the silence, the speaking up, it's all keeps circling back to one truth. We cannot control people. We cannot control what happens to us, but we can choose how we respond. We can live consciously. We can show up as ourselves fully, with grace, but also with fire when it's needed. And when we do that, really do that, even the worst moments have something to offer. Even the thorns become reminders. Even the losses become teachings. Even the chaos becomes clarity. So wherever I go, I pick up something I can use, and I carry it with me.